Hello everyone, this is Joe, and today I'm going to try to do a quicker video, at least for this part. I'm going to be talking about units that I feel are a bit underrated, like they're actually better than people give credit for. We'll go by element as well, to make a quicker type of thing. I'm going to start talking about the units that are actually really good, that no one really gives credit for. You could definitely build them and actually use them in RTA, and they're nice units to surprise people with. I'm not talking about the units that are actually decent, actually pretty good. That I'm Abigail is pretty good. Holiday Euphine is good in certain situations. I'm not gonna talk about units that people generally know, because obviously people know that some of those units type of thing. But I'm gonna talk about the units that are only a few people really play them, but they're actually pretty good units. Or in some of these units, no one physically plays them, but they're actually good units type of thing. So let's see. For example, if fire units here, honestly, I think when it comes to fire units, I'm gonna only mention one unit here. Yeah, just one unit here, and that's actually Maya. Maya is actually a pretty good knight that people are not giving credit for. Her S3, well, first of all, her stat line. So she is 18 effectiveness, 112 base speed with really high defense and health for a knight, especially a 4-star knight. Actually, she has higher stats than other 5-star Ares knights. Cecilia is a 5-star fire Ares knight. So Cecilia should have more base stats, but she actually has more base stats than Cecilia. Not by much, but so you can actually build her at pretty decent speed. You can build her on you build her really tanky with Arius and stuff. S1 being a 35% chance to 35% chance to stun on S1. And the S2 basically being 100% chance to stun with a 30% CR pushback. And also, if you soul burn it, you can use it every turn, because it's a 3-turn cooldown that reduces the cooldown by 2. So if you have 10 souls, you can use it and then use it again next turn. It is really good, and her S3 is actually very, very, very strong. I mean, it's only a 75% chance to provoke, but 75% chance for AoE provoke and 100% chance to decrease their attack, and gives defense to your whole team. You can she's actually a very solid unit. I used to build her. I used to play her a few seasons ago, maybe more. Maybe it was a bit more than a few seasons ago. But I used to play her actually, and she was actually very, very strong. I don't have her rebuilt. I don't have her built right now, but I would like to rebuild her at some point. I think she might be my next knight I build actually up again, because I kind of want to use her, try to get her 260 speed, or I was thinking go higher, but just go 260 with a lot of bulk and some effectiveness. I think she'd be a really solid surprise knight. I don't think I'm gonna put anyone else on here. Obviously everyone knows Ross, how decent Ross is. I think people are forgetting that Carrot actually is very good still. I haven't built her. I think I don't have a builder right now. I wouldn't mind rebuilding her though too. But I think people are underestimating Carrot again. So I think that's the main units in fire. Katie's actually is pretty good too, because especially because you can get her really, really high ER. So, but she's not really the super fast. I do have her built, but I mostly just, if I do use her, it's generally in Guild Wars sometimes. I don't really pull around in RTA. Alright, so let's go to Ice. I don't remember if there was any Ice units I want to talk about. Let's see. Luna, everyone generally knows how good she is. I think she's one buff away to being actually a pretty strong unit. Brieg actually is pretty good in RTA. He's actually a bit better than people are giving him credit for too. I like him on a very, very, very tanky build with Arius, just so his barrier, so his S2 Soulborn gives everyone on my team a 10k barrier. It's pretty strong. Maybe Tywin. I haven't tried Tywin actually that much since his change. I think he might be pretty decent, especially with all the arrow wells and all the sleeps running around. He might be pretty decent. Maybe I'll rebuild him at some point too. Yeah. Oh, never mind. Riza. Okay. Riza, honestly, really underrated unit too. I think she is. I use her sometimes in Guild Wars, and I pull her out occasionally in RTA. Like her damage actually isn't bad. Her base stats, I think it's Bologna stat line. Is it Bologna? Yeah, I believe it. I'm pretty sure this is Bologna, green Bologna stat line, which isn't the best for attack, which is why my Riza only has like 2,500 attack, I think it was, but like it was 1,400 defense, 14k HP. So it was, with crit damage and stuff. So, but like her actual kit itself is pretty good. You have a chance to get target, and then if you have Hawkeye, it gives you CR push to the person in the front. You're giving your the person in the front 30% damage reduction against single targets, which allows you to, which is pretty good, especially if you're using something like, let's say you're using like Last Rider Crow as your front line, and then they have a Galililius. It will protect your. That way, your LRK will not die to a one shot off of Galililius. I mean, you'll probably still be still low to the point you probably still die in the next turn, the next attack, but you probably would survive it. Like I've had times where I used Riza with like, at least I know I have a video up there. I used Riza and I used Rylet, and my Rylet survived Zahak because of Riza. I don't remember if I had mitigation or not. I don't know if I had Arius or not. Maybe they banned Arius, and that's why I was really surprised. But yeah, 30% damage reduction against single target attacks is very, very good. Like really good against like if you're using something like Abyssal Euphine and your opponent has a Little Queen Charlotte, it will protect you. You could potentially survive then. Like there's a lot of strong single target damage dealers out there. Also, when the person in the front gets low health, it cleanses all debuffs from them and Riza, I think, and then gives you Hawk's Eye. Then the S3 is pretty solid too. Dispelling all buffs, gives yourself immunity, and pushes them back 50%, and it gets explain weak points. She actually is a really good unit. I'm probably gonna definitely use her. I think most of the units that I'm gonna mention today, if I have them built, I'm going to try to use them throughout this RTA season. Like I use Riza every once in a while, and like who was the first one I just talked about? Oh yeah, Maya. If I build Maya, I'll probably use her a bit as well. But like yeah, I will definitely use Riza. Another unit, like everyone already knows, Elaine. That's pretty good. Kind of want to see Crozet actually. I think Blue Crozet is definitely decent, and some people generally know how good he is. Like he's not like better than Troublemaker Crozet, but giving your ally a barrier plus a defense buff whenever they get low. It's once per turn though, but like it's pretty solid. It could be very, very good. He's actually not a terrible knight you can pull out in RTA. I might have to rebuild him as well. I don't have him built right now again. I used to. But I used to be a Crozet player. It's just that his S3 just feels so lackluster because it's just, I mean, it pushes them back up to 50% CR push, which is huge, but it's just a 75% chance to provoke for one turn. Like, if this S3 was better, well, what's the S1 again with attack down? If the S1 and S3 were better, he would actually be pretty good. Like right now, but his S2 is his passive is very good though. And then, obviously, if anyone has seen me play, anyone has seen my videos, they know how much I love Rose. I think Rose is 100% a massively underrated knight. Yes, she is super slow. You don't have to try to build her 280 speed plus. You don't have to make her turn 1. I mean, you can if you have the gear for it. But personally, I think just getting her to 250, 260 speed with as much bulk as you can and stacking her, and then giving her Arias is huge. Like, she is literally the only knight in the entire game that has an attack buff and CR push in the same skill on a knight. So so that's why I love using her. She is my mitigation because she has Arias, and she's my attack buffing and CR pushing unit. Like it is so underrated. Like and then not to mention her S2, because like you'd always use the one that the Shield of Light, the second one applies the same effect to herself while she uses her S2. I mean, the cooldown decrease on the S3 is nice, but that's whatever. What's the cooldown? It'd be 3 turns. It's fine, but like you getting the benefits of the S2 on yourself as well when you use it on someone else is huge. So that means you give yourself two debuff cleanse and then 20% CR push. Like that's why I love using her. Like she's a really good unit. I think she's really good into arrow wall as well. So like you go obviously because you're obviously gonna outspeed arrow wall with Lulu with Rose. So you just use Rose, pushes your attack, your team, your DPS unit up. Your DPS unit does their thing, and then Arrow probably stuns one of your DPS units, and like, well, that's fine because your Rose is going to outspeed your DPS unit again, and then just cleanse the stun, and then give them and then also the shield strength depends is increased based off of your defense, so it's like barrier strength increases proportional to the caster's defense. But then the S3 gets her self-defense buff. So that means that when her second turn comes up, when she gets her second turn up, after she uses her S3, that barrier plus cleanse is actually really, really strong. Like, I'd probably say I don't know how much it would be, but like mine's probably like 1,500 defense. With the defense buff on top of it, I'm probably giving a good 2,000 to 3,000 barrier, which is nice considering that, you also get that CR push and the cleanse. So that 3K barrier or something like that it's just added, and then also implies to herself too with that EE. Super underrated unit. That's why I love Rose. Like I don't have to tell you like, oh, maybe I'll use her this RTA season. Like I'm going to use her. She's one of my go-to units. I think last season, if I looked up the list, I probably used her the most out of all units in the game. Who else? I don't think there's anyone else I want to talk about in the ice section. Oh no, there is one. Momo. So anyone saw some of my, well, maybe not some of my most recent matches, but like they probably saw some of my matches a lot, especially during the end of the preseason. I used Momo a lot. Oh, I look at this FPS drop. Honestly, I love the way my Momo is built. She is actually a really fun unit. I have her on a very fast build. Normally, I would not say she's amazing. I think it's the gear I put on her that makes her amazing. But I think just the amount of like how much you cleanse on the how much you heal and cleanse and spam S2 is so strong that it's like a lot of times, like I got one of the matches I got reset. Like they hit me with they soul burn Flitica onto her, so I got reset. It didn't matter because I just automatically get my reduced cooldown and I just immediately just S2 on her turn. It didn't matter. I just cleansed off the bad debuffs and I was able to win that match, even after being reset. I mean, I couldn't use S3 for a while because I was reset, but I mean, still 3-turn cooldown, 2-turn cooldown. She is very spammy. I think she is definitely underrated. Like anytime my opponent's picking a lot of like debuffing units like Flan or AOL, anyone I see a lot of debuffs, I'm like, you know what? I'm picking Momo. You could pick your Lulucar. Go ahead, pick your Lulucar, and then after you truck them one time, you're just sitting there doing nothing for 2 turns, with an occasional small push on the S1. Meanwhile, I'm gonna spam my Momo's S2 like crazy and constantly get healed and cleanse. I just think Momo is super underrated, and I'm definitely gonna be using her a lot during this RTA season. As far as Earth goes, Valencia. I wish I could say Valencia. Well, no, Valencia's pretty good. But everyone knows how good she is. She's decent. She's great with injury set, but I kind of went to wait for a buff to really say, pick her. But I mean, everyone knows her. Lia's good, obviously. I'm talking about units that people don't really know how good they are. I wish I could say a little bit, but I cannot. I won't say Eupheme because it's just my Eupheme being on a speed build. Earth units that are underrated. I don't think I'm actually able to talk about any of these Earth units. No, Wave 1. Lots. I've actually been using Lots a lot in Arena, a normal Arena lately. And I think he is by far the most underrated Soul Weaver, I think. Because, his stat line isn't the best, but you can definitely build him as a bulky unit. And, his speed's pretty low, but, I wouldn't want to... I'm not trying to build him like a Oxlots type thing. I'm not trying to make him like 260, 270, 280 speed or something like that. I just want to make him really, really, really tanky. Give him the artifact that gives you, I can't remember the name of it. It was the artifact that gives you, that you heal the lowest health unit when you use a non-attack skill. That is the best artifact on him. I mean, Magara's Tome's pretty good too. But I like the one that gives you the heal when you use a non-attack skill. I mean, you could also use, I guess technically you can also use Unfading Memories, but I have Unfading Memories on my Acades, so if I had a spare one that was pretty high upgraded, I probably would have gave it to him instead, because that probably would be better, but either one works, because I think what people don't know is the amount of sustain he actually does, because especially with a healing artifact like that, he does so much. His cooldown, like being 3 turns on his S3, I think it's 2 turns, 2 turns on his S2, he pushes the unit up by 100% with his S2, 100% CR, and then pushes himself by 30. But like, you could actually use his S2 on himself. So because of that, you can just S2 and then S3. So you can S2, S3. So you're using a artifact that it heals based off using non-attack skills like Unfading Memories or that one other one. You're getting all this extra heals. Also, it allows you to lower down the cooldowns of this, because you're like, on your first turn you just go S2, S3, and then your next turn your S2 is back off cooldown. So then you can do it again. You can go S2 into S1. Unfortunately, your S3 will be on a cooldown by 1 turn. But like, even so, like, I think he is, especially if you're using a lot of HP scaling units or a lot of defense scaling units, and you kind of need sustain, he is actually underrated. I've definitely used him in other videos before. I've used him with like Alencia, but I'd say like Lots plus his grandma Alencia. I'm definitely gonna pick him more often, especially now that I have rebuilt a Dark Corvus, and I think Dark Corvus plus Lots is extremely scary to fight, because Lots gives so much, because he heals based off of that ally's max health on both of this. Wait, does this one also buy ally's max health? Oh no, he doesn't actually heal off of this. He just gets continuous heal. But that's based off of allies max health. But the amount of heal he gets off of this, though, because I used the artifact as well. So I mean, I remember seeing like he was heal, like I would press S3 and I would heal like Dark Horrors by like 12,000 health. And then on top of it, he gets continuous heal, so he heals an extra 15% on top of it on his turn. Like I've had times where I was using Dark Corvus plus Lots in an arena match. My Dark Corvus had like 2,000 health left, and then just from Lots S2, S3 himself, S2 himself and S3, Dark Corvus basically went from like 2,000 health left till over 30k health, because the amount of heals from S2 with the artifact, S3 because the artifact, plus continuous heal, like, it is really, really strong. He is definitely underrated. I'm going to use him for sure a lot in the new RTA season. I think he's definitely going to be, I think people are going to realize just, maybe he's actually pretty good. Also, people aren't going to realize how good of a combo this is, though. But Green Lots plus Leafy is insanely broken, that I'm actually surprised no one has ever tried to do it yet. Against, or just in general, I have not seen anyone do it. Like, why wouldn't you? Because you could build, lots of decent speed with good bulk. And obviously you can build Leafy at like 250, 260 plus speed. Just use Leafy at S1, whatever unit. Lots kills back, pushes Leafy up to 100%, and then Leafy can Sober an S3, S1 and kill something. Or is only reason I haven't done it yet, because my Leafy actually is terrible. Like, she's like 24k HP right now. She's not strong enough to really pull that off. But like, if you have a good like 29, 28, 29k HP Leafy, you destroy things with that. Like, it's really solid, and then Lots gives you a lot more sustain for your team. So I'm like, hey, once I actually get Leafy better, I'm definitely doing that. I just think he's underrated. As far as light goes, everyone really knows how good they are, and in fact, I think a lot of the light units are kind of broken because there's not many checks to deal with them. So I don't know if I really want to talk about any of these units anyways, because I don't want to see more light units already. But everyone I don't think there's any more underrated units I want to talk about anyway. Maybe Guide or Aither. I always thought Guide or Aither was kind of underrated, because you could build him in 3 different ways, and all 3 of them can be pretty strong. Like you can build him as a like really fast, like supportive, almost like opener levels. Like obviously you're not going to be like 300 speed on him, but you can get him like 280 speed. I've had all 3 versions of Guide Aether built before, and I've used all 3 of them. I mean, I only have one built right now, but like I've used 3 different versions of Guide Aether throughout years, the past few years, and like I think the strongest one is the support build when you go like 260 speed plus, like go 260 to 270 speed, Guide Aether with high effectiveness, because like his S3 is definitely one of the strongest. Is definitely a really strong S3. A full strip full strip into a stun because of the E, into is pushing your highest attack unit by 50% CR and giving him attack buff. Like, I'm actually surprised that people aren't using Guide Aether plus Specimen Says. Like, that is like, he's built to combo off of Specimen Says. Like, he is definitely like one of the strongest units you can combo with Specimen Says. People are like, oh no, I want to use ML Sharoon. I mean, you could definitely use ML Sharoon with Guide Aether as well, but like Guide Aether is like the best unit to use it, because you get attack buff, you get pushed up, and you get that stun. Like it's the best unit to use. Obviously the only bad thing is the fact that his base speed isn't good, but you can get him 270, like 260, 270 speed, and make him, as long as you get rid of their main openers, or you ban their openers or counter their openers, you'll be fine. Not to mention, even because I said there's 2 other builds. Like I'm currently using the other build, which is like a bruiser build. Like mine is on, I think mine's like 1300 defense, 13k HP, 1300 defense with like 3600 attack, I think it was, with like 260 crit damage. So or maybe a lot less, but like it was around a little over 3,000 to 3,300 attack, something like that, with good bulk. So he still does a lot of damage. I think I'm on Proof of Hour as well, actually. But even with that, he still does pretty solid damage. If anyone saw my recent my most recent, not most, but anyone seen the videos I've used, and if I used Guide Aether in the past like few months from now, it's probably Bruiser. The other obviously build is like the full damage build, because he does have really high scaling. So if you build him on the full damage build, he will destroy things. I think that's all I want to talk about that. And then dark units that are underrated. Kind of surprised no one's really pulling out Operator Cigarette. I think Operator Cigarette just doesn't have the damage now, but obviously still kit wise, she definitely could still make it, because especially with Airwall still being very, very, very popular right now. I mean, maybe people are, I gotta see though, maybe people are going like a high damage. You probably can go, that's what you could probably do, actually. I think people have done this before. Go like really, really, really high damage, no crit chance or crit damage, like really, really high attack, and then using her against Airwall Landy. I gotta see if you can actually do that. If you can actually kill Landy without critting on a like really high full attack. Because I know some people do stuff like that when they go high damage, high attack, or maybe it was I gotta see if that's possible. I don't know how strong, because 100% remove their, if they have a barrier, they're not doing any their defense doesn't matter. So I guess see if that's viable. I might try something like that. Don't know. I mean, Backhead Armin, obviously people, I mean, she can be very scary because, 10 speed EE with 115 speed, you can get her to 300 speed and outspeed their units, or you can potentially outspeed their units. It's just that 15% really screws you over. I had a near 300 speed Backhead Armin, and it was pretty good, but I don't think I'm going to talk about. Oh no, okay, there's 2 more units. One is Hasol. I have actually, do I still have her built? I think I have a counter Hasol built right now. I think she's definitely good though because she lowers down the counterattack chance. She lowers down the counterattack damage, and then she pushes up, and then obviously she does more damage, more fixed damage when when you get hit by a counter. It goes up to 4,500 attack, which is nice. Gives you a barrier. I think does defense buff only for herself. I think right. No, it's defense buff for the whole team. But you only get the barriers only to herself. Okay, but yeah. If I do have her build still, I'll use her. I don't know if I got rid of her build already. But here's the main one that I think that I'm actually surprised no one else is doing, like, at all. And probably, in my opinion, the most underrated 3-star. Okay, in my opinion, she is the most underrated non-specialty change 3-star. I think she is actually, if she got specialty changed, and they didn't like make her all model dark bull crap type of thing, and they didn't do anything like that, and they just gave her an actual specialty change, I think she would be like really meta. Because first of all, her stat line is actually pretty good with for a 3-star mage. Because most 3-star mages, like, this is higher health than most 5-star mages. Like, this is a higher health. Like, you look at stuff like Ludwig or like Melissa, they have 4,200 HP. Like, their HP is 4,200. This is tankier than, I mean, this is a more support, not really a damage though, but I think her S3 actually has decent scaling too, but you're not going to, if you're building her, you're not building her for damage. You're building her for debuffing and utility, but I think she is definitely underrated because like her S1 is just unhealable, which, it's nice. Whatever. It's honestly these two abilities, right? S2 and S3, I think are really, really stacked. S2 giving you 30% damage reduction against AoE for your entire team. So lowering down AoEs to your team by 30% for that's really, really huge. Because if you're trying to fight, if someone's trying to cleave you, you're like, well, I'm just gonna pick this to get 30% damage reduction, then have some other knight with Arius on there, and you just don't take damage. But like this being kind of only one thing though, I think if they ever gave her a buff or a specialty change, I think all they really had to do is give her maybe another thing in her S2, should be like insane. But honestly, her S3 is, I think, one of the most stacked for 3-stars in the game. First of all, it's a 3-turn cooldown. It pushes back the enemy by 40% CR, and then gives them a 2-turn silence and a 2-turn unbuffable. Also, if you soul burn it, you lower the cooldown by 2. It's a 3-turn cooldown. So basically, you soul burn S3, then your next turn, you can just soul burn S3 again. And she's a mage, so she can hold book. Like, 40% CR pushback with 2-turn silence and 2-turn unbuffable. You realize how strong that is, right? That means it gets past Laya. Laya cannot S2 because Laya's artifact only stops 1 turn of it. So she'll still be silenced on her turn. It stops hand guy unless hand guy is on Laya artifact, then yeah, that can stop it. You could stop AOL because you can silence AOL. It stops pretty much any unit that doesn't have immunity or immunity to silence, which I don't think anyone specifically has an immunity to silence. Like, that's one of the debuffs that, because I think if anyone has a debuff, immunity to a debuff, it's like, stun and sleep. They don't have, so everyone in the game can be silenced. Well, except for Broman. Broman has immunity to silence. I forgot they did that to him. Everyone else in the game does not have any immunity to silence, unless of course it's like Rem with demon mode, or Benimaru with his flame barrier thing. But the fact that you can just do it and then soul burn S3 and then do it again the next turn, then do it again the next turn, and a 40% pushback with silence, that is massive. I think, I'm going to tell you right now, I think she is definitely underrated, and I'm going to make her, I already have her built, by the way. I have her really, really well built. I used her a few times in Arena. So once I do my RTA season, I am definitely going to be picking her a lot this season. And I think I'm going to use her as like a counter to specific fast units. Like, I don't know, Galililius, Celine, if I don't want to deal with her, if I don't want to post-banner, I mean. What else? Who else is... Basically, anyone who doesn't really use immunity will get screwed over by her. Honestly, and I think if they gave her a specialty change, I think all they need to do is give her maybe one more thing in her S2 to make her S2 a bit more than just damage reduction. and then give her a strip on her S3, and then base stats more base stats, and then she would literally be one of the best special change in the entire game. Like I think she would almost be Arrowwell levels of strength. Okay, maybe not Arrowwell, maybe more like Phyllis. Maybe she will be Arrowwell level. Honestly, I think she would be the best debuffing special change unit if they gave her one. I actually kind of surprised. No, like people whenever people talk about 3-stars, they're like, oh, no one uses her, no one cares about her. I'm like, no, like really. His stats are actually pretty good. 110 speed isn't like amazing fast, but you could definitely get her decent speed. Like hell, I'll even show you. I said I wasn't gonna do a long video, but you know what? It always happens like this. But I'll show some of the units. So if I have some of these units built that I remember talking about, I'll show you it. I also have Misty Chain built too. I rebuilt Misty Chain. Not sure if I'll ever use her. Like Momo, like I said before, solid 286 ER. Pretty good bulk actually with 256 speed. Normally I would say Momo wouldn't be like, I think the fact that I'm having so much success with Momo is because this is an insanely broken build. Like if I put this on any other unit, it would probably be insane. But you know what? No one expects the near 260 speed Momo, so it's just so fun. I got her Aither, like I said, 3400 attack. Okay, not even upgraded Proof of Valor either, but he does pretty solid damage actually. Like he actually does pretty good damage for only being like 285 with pen set. Yeah, 3400 attack, and not even an attack artifact on. And he's pretty bulky because he has proof. I mean, he's only plus 15, but it's Proof of Valor plus good bulk. So, I know it actually isn't built though right now. I just had her for Ancient Inheritance. Who else was on that list? Let's see. Rose, obviously. Anyone who saw my videos in the past months basically will know I spam Rose all the time. I love Rose. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. Dark Corvus, like I said before, obviously, when yep, here's Otillie. 110 effectiveness, 283 speed. We have pretty decent bulk for a 3-star, especially when I have so much speed. Like, she is insane. 40% pushback, on a 2-turn cooldown. 30% reduction against AoE. I'm going to use her a lot. Like, she's honestly like insane. Brig. I did talk about Brig a little bit, but like I said before, that's my Brig. Boy, that lag was so bad. It looked like I was on Guiding Light. Okay, like that. So then my Riza, yeah, about 2583. Pretty good crit damage actually, with good bulk, Guiding Light, 182 speed. I am definitely gonna be using her this RTA season for sure. I think she is really underrated. I'll use her for sure. I don't think I said anyone else on here that I have built. My Bruiser CDOM I may be using. That's just for a different build. Oh yeah, lots just under 2000 defense, 22k HP. Yeah, this is the artifact I was talking about before. Heals the ally of the lowest health by 21%. Again, you can S2 into S3, so S2 heals someone, at S3 heals someone. I don't actually have his S3 max, but so I'm actually missing 6% CR push on the S3, but I think he is heavily underrated, and I'm definitely gonna be using him a bit. I don't have to, like, not even really fast either. It's just, insanely bulky. Also, I rebuilt Isaiah just under 25k HP. It's pretty slow because I wanted her to go after a lot of my team goes, because then you want to reset so you can use it again. And I'm like, well, if I'm not gonna go fast, and I don't care about like counter set, or I don't care about anything like that, I might just give her protection set so that she starts everyone off with like a 3k barrier. I think it's like a 3k barrier. I think it's a 3k barrier at the start of the match, and then I have Leica's artifact on it to make it basically an extra 4K barrier that she gives the team once she uses rest too. So nice amount of support there on top of it. I think I still have her build. Okay, yeah. Oh, right. I don't have Hasol anymore. I gave it to Helen. I wanted to try a weird build of like a really, really tanky, you know, not damage build, but like, hey, surprise, I counter and push a random unit up type of thing. I don't know how well it's going to do. I have never tried her. Even I don't really try her. I haven't really used her much in arena either. So I may pull her out every once in a while. Yeah, I think that was it. Okay. Yeah, so basically that's what I'm thinking. There's a lot of underrated units that I think would be people should start giving credit to and actually trying them out and building. And this is done on Tuesday. I'm making this video on Tuesday. I'll probably upload it on the same day. So also I'll do a quick rundown of what my plans are. So I only have 2 more videos of preseason saved so far. So I'm probably going to upload this today on Tuesday, around Tuesday night probably. And I'll probably upload one of the RTA matches I did. So like I said, I only have 2 more preseason matches saved up. I'm probably going to also do another video. I'll probably upload my next 2 videos after that. On like Thursday, I'll probably upload my last RTA match I have saved up from preseason. As well as maybe I'll talk about the update, you know, whatever update we get. If we get anything special, like we get anything big on Thursday, then I'll probably talk about that. I know we're getting Senya skin. We're getting the Senya skin as well. That's the only thing they revealed so far. And then obviously on Friday when we get the new, we should be getting a balance patch preview. I'll go through that with you guys on Friday, and I'll go through it, you know, actually going through it as an impression type of thing. So you're going to see my first initial impressions on it. So it's going to be genuine, like, oh crap, I hate this, or oh crap, I love this type of thing. So, and I'll upload it as well on that Friday. As well as I'm probably going to start my RTA season. Not sure if I'm going to do it this weekend, but I'm going to start it soon. Maybe I'll do it on Friday. Maybe I'll do like my first part of like the RTA season, because everyone doesn't know I do all 10 of my matches in like 3, and then 4 usually. I think one year I did like one season I did like all 10 in one match, or I did 5 and 5, but I'm probably gonna do 3, and 4. So I'll, you know, take my my placement matches all in 3 videos type of thing. So I'll probably do the part 1 of the preseason, part 1 of the placements on Friday probably, with the video talking about the balance preview type of thing. And then I eventually wanted to get into streaming. I will probably do that sometime. Actually, let me see what time it is. How much time it's been. Okay, so I think it's about. I want to remember. I want to put like a little check note type thing for people who just want to listen to my future plans for, you know, media future plans. But yeah, so like I said, I want to get into streaming. I never tried streaming before. I think I tried streaming one time, but like I never actually did streaming before. So I'm thinking what I'll do is I want to start streaming sometime in a few weeks, probably in the middle of March. I will probably start I'll try to do my first stream, and it'll obviously be either me doing mock battles or me doing RTA, whichever one. I'll decide based on what people want. Like I said, I'll probably do it in the middle of March. It'll probably, the first stream, because I never did it before, will probably streaming on YouTube. And then maybe after that, so I might do, because I do have a Twitch, but again, I don't really use it. What I might do is I might stream on YouTube, and then the next stream, if I do the next stream, it'll be on Twitch, and I go on stream on YouTube, and then Twitch, and then YouTube, and then Twitch, until I figure out which one I like more. And then maybe I'll, you know, let's say I like Twitch more, I might just go strictly on Twitch if I can handle it more. Because again, I don't know. The reason why I never tried streaming before is my PC is, while it's a decent PC, I've had it for the past like 9 or 10 years. And there's been a few times, like, reason why I don't edit any of my videos is because I try to use video editor before, and it blue screened on me. Like my computer blue screened on me. So I'm like, apparently I can't, do edits or something like that. Or maybe that was just that one time, but when your PC blue screens on you from using a product, using a like program, like, yeah, I'm not using that program anymore. So I think all like video editors might do that to me. So I'm like, I'm just not gonna be able to try to edit my videos because it runs my PC so hard to the point of blue screens. I'm like, so I'm gonna try streaming and hopefully it's good and doesn't lag type of thing. And if the quality is good and it's not terrible, then I'll do it more often. Then I might do it like once a week, maybe once a week, or maybe once every other week, type of thing. Maybe eventually, if I like it enough, and after I do it a few times, I might do like 2 streams a week type of thing. I might stream one day on Twitch and then one day on YouTube, and then do that every week type of thing, where I stream one day on each platform. Maybe. We'll see how it goes. Anyways, thanks everyone for sticking around. I am going to, like I said, this is Tuesday. I'll probably upload this later on with one of my preseason matches. And I'm sorry about, just only uploading like preseason videos lately. Like I said before, I usually skip the first month of RTA seasons. So that's why you're only getting old preseason matches I had saved up, because I did a lot of them and I recorded a lot of them and I just have them saved up. I'm only down to my last 2, and I'm probably uploading one of them with this video later today on Tuesday. So yeah. Anyone who actually stuck around for this whole video, thanks, and I'll see you guys next video.